Hello, and welcome to another edition of Ask the Chiropractor. Ask the Chiropractor is a segment that we started here for people to ask the chiropractor questions. Often, when you see a segment on the news, local news, or on the internet about chiropractic, they tell you to check with your family doctor before you go. And I'm telling you that's a bad idea because most family doctors have no idea what chiropractors do. So we started to ask the chiropractor. So now, when you have a question about chiropractic care, or what do chiropractors do, you can submit it here and we'll answer it for you the best we can. I am Dr. Brent Hulsebus, chiropractor here in Rockford, Illinois. I'm a Palmer graduate and I'm currently the team chiropractor for the Rockford Ice Hogs, the Blackhawks affiliate. And I've worked with many other teams and I have certifications in wellness, chiropractic philosophy, and other things. So if you have a question, feel free to submit it below, email us, send it to us. Now, a common question that we get asked a lot is determining a care plan. People call us up all the time and say, "Hey, I've got sciatica. How many times do I have to come in?" Or, "Hey, I'm having headaches. What do I have to do? How many times do I have to come in?" And they ask us this question over the telephone without providing us any information about themselves. And this is an impossible question for a chiropractor to answer until we get to examine and meet the patient and see the patient's history. Because there's many determining factors on what a care plan needs and how often a patient needs to come. The bottom line is basically the healthier your spine is, the less of us you need. The more unhealthy your spine is, the more of us you need. So what we do is typically come in, we obtain your health history so we can read about previous different things about your health. We do a chiropractic exam. A chiropractic exam is where we look at your leg lengths, your shoulders, how you carry yourself, we evaluate your posture and stuff like that. And then we usually take x-rays of your spine as well. Now, what do all these things tell us? We'll start with the x-rays. We take x-rays first. The x-rays tell us a lot about your posture. You can't really hide your posture on the x-ray, but we look at your posture on the x-ray. And we also look at the health of your joints. Now, we cannot see your disc on the x-ray, but we can see the gaps where your disc would be. Being able to judge the height of your discs and the health of your disc, and also the health of your joints and the arthritis or lack of arthritis in your spine, gives us huge indications of how long it's going to take to get you better. Also, if you're looking at curves of the spine or different angles of the vertebrae, if a vertebrae is severely wedged, like at a 20-degree angle versus a 5-degree angle, a 20-degree angle is going to take longer to help get relief than a 5-degree angle, just because there's less work that needs to be, or more work that needs to be done to 20 versus a 5-degree angle. We also look for the backside. You have a little spinous that comes out. Those are the bumps you feel you rub someone's back. We look to see if the spinuses are rotated as well. Not only do you have a curve, but you have rotation involved in the curve. If you just have a curve and no rotation, that's going to get better faster. If you have rotation and a curve, that's going to require more work and more energy on our behalf to get you better feeling rates. The next thing we look at, like I said, is your posture. We just did ask the chiropractor a question about the shadow of your brain's health. Your posture is the shadow of your brain's health. So if your posture is really, really poor, then that's that much more uphill travel we're working against. You see, your spine's designed to have a certain posture. When you lack that posture, you keep everything more tight, more angry, more inflamed, and it makes it more of a challenge for us to help get you better. Another thing we look at your overall health history. Do you only eat food that you can get when you're inside your car? When was the last time you had a salad? Do you exercise regularly? Do you walk regularly? Do you not do anything regularly? These are all determining factors. The person that eats well, the person that walks well, the person that thinks well will get quicker results chiropractically than the person who does not. So these are all very, very important factors. Another thing that people often get frustrated when they're coming in here is the fact that we actually give you homework. We give you a couple of stretches and posture stuff to work on at home. When you don't do these things, you don't quite get the fast results that you want or expect, and therefore it takes longer. We usually call you on those things too, because the science of chiropractic always works. It's the application that doesn't always work. So when we look at somebody who's not getting well or not getting better, we often see what they're doing for their homework assignments. So these are all big factors that we look at. Another thing we look at is how many spots in your spine are off. Do you have the one spot that's really bad, or do you have 8 spots and your spine's all over the place? How long has it been off? Did you just get in a car accident yesterday and came in right away? Or did you get in a car accident 3 years ago and now you're finally making your way in? Well, it takes a lot more time to take care of somebody who waited 3 years to get in versus somebody who just got in right away. So these are all very, very important factors, is how long you wait to seek care. And then what else have you done for care? Are you doing other things as well? Are you in a massage therapist? Do yoga and stuff like that? These are all factors that contribute how long or how often you need to come in. So when you simply call me on the telephone and you say, hey, I want to come in and be a patient, how many times do I have to come in for right sciatica? I cannot answer that question over the telephone. Um, cannot figure that out at all. We have to sit down and look at you. So what we'll do is we'll sit down with you. We'll give you a chiropractic adjustment after we do our exam and x-rays and our, whatever we need to do to learn more about you. Then we'll have you come back in a couple of days and we'll see how you did. See, here in our office, we don't have like a cookie cutter schedule. Everyone's different, everyone's unique. So we wait to see how you respond to the care we gave you. Then we'll come up with a care plan. Because if I tell you that the more stress you have, the more times you have to come in, everybody I interview will tell me they have no stress and they think they can come in less. And that's like lying to your dentist. You're not really tricking anybody. So what we do is we have you come in. We'll see you again in a couple of days, see how you did, and then based on how you do, we'll sit down and give you a care plan. And we give you the care plan. We're going to go over from top to bottom where we're going to introduce exercises, stretches, any reevaluations or redetermination of care, and then what your insurance does or more appropriately does not cover. And then we'll review all that with you. That's how we do it here in the office. And that's usually what I recommend any chiropractor to do. And if you're watching from somewhere other than Rockford or you're seeing a different chiropractor, I think that's a very appropriate response is to go ahead and get a care plan from the doctor. Now, I know things can change. I know I've had patients that I put them on a schedule and then they go off and they get in a car accident or they have a family emergency. They have to travel across the country to come back in a couple of weeks. So those things happen, right? They happen all the time. But the majority of people, we start them on a care plan. We take time outs. We reevaluate things. The care plan will slow down as we go and speed up if it has to. And then what we do is that's how we determine what you need for care. I would say 95% of patients follow a very good care plan. And again, your chiropractor should also go over your insurance with you and any findings they have and what the end game goals are. I mean, why are we doing this? What are we hoping to find at the end? Often, a lot of times, we will not find perfect X-rays again. There's a thing called Wolff's Law. Wolff's Law says that if the body's under pressure, if things are going on, the body will restructure itself to cope with this. So if you fell and hurt your lower back when you were 8 years old, never went to a chiropractor, went to the chiropractor for the first time when you're 55 years old, and you have a horrible curve in your lower back, will that curve ever fully go away? Probably not, because Wolff's Law kicks in and that bone's restructured to deal with that curve. And you have usually, like we talk about our posture video, everybody always has two problems because your eyes always stay level. So if you had this thing in your lower back that's been there for a long time, you're going to probably find something else somewhere else. Now, the bone will restructure according to Wolff's Law and change, so we can never probably make it straight up and down again. Can we make it a lot stronger so it doesn't fall apart, so it doesn't always aggravate your energy all the time? Absolutely, we can definitely do that. But again, this is something I cannot tell you over the telephone before I meet you. This is something I have to see an X-ray and see what's going on, look at see how long it's been there. This is why when people call and ask us, well, how many times have they come in for, whatever it is, it's impossible to ask until we see you. So I hope that answers your question. When people call us on the phone and say, how many times have they come for this, come for that? When it comes to determining a care plan for a patient, there are a lot of different factors. I believe most chiropractors should give a care plan. If your chiropractor is not giving you a care plan or goals, you might want to ask why. You might want to reconsider where you're going. Because even my dentist gives me goals. We're going to get our teeth, cleaned every 6 months. We're going to brush and floss twice a day, and we're going to try to prevent cavities and try to keep your gum line healthy. That's the goal. So you go to a chiropractor, you should know your goals and your schedule and the hope of the outcome. So again, to recap, we look at your x-rays, we look at your health history, we look at your history, your overall healthy habits or non-healthy habits. And we also examine your exam findings and your posture findings. From there, we'll give you a care plan. The care plan is based on those findings and also how you responded to care. And then at the end of those, there should be reevaluations and time when we check in and introduce exercises and stretches and stuff like that along the way. And then it should also be presented financially to you before you start too, what your insurance covers and what your insurance doesn't cover. Therefore, you know what your expectations are. Chiropractor doesn't do those things, and I'm kind of curious about that chiropractor. There's always extraordinary circumstances. The chiropractor does not do those things, but for the general rule, those things should be occurring. So there you go. There you have it. So that's today's edition of Ask the Chiropractor. Remember, if you have a question about chiropractic or what chiropractors do, ask a chiropractor. If you have a question about your teeth, you should ask a dentist. If you have a question about your child's health, you can ask your pediatrician or your chiropractor pediatrician. But try to ask the right people the right questions to get why you get the correct answers. And if you have a question for us, if you want to be in the next Ask the Chiropractor, leave a comment below. send us a message or visit us at rockforddc.com, ROCKFORDDC.com, and send us a message right there. And maybe next time we do this video, Ask the Chiropractor will be asking your question, answering your question. All right, everybody, stay healthy, stay strong, and we'll see you again real soon. Bye-bye.